Hello and welcome to First Look Florida State Track and Field. I'm your host, Tom Block, and over the next 30 minutes we'll tell you all you need to know about the 2013 Seminole Tracksters. They are busy gearing up for the NCAA Championships, first round action coming up later this month, the actual outdoor championships in Eugene, Oregon in early June, and the Seminoles will be a factor on the men's and women's side, trust me. It's already been a great outdoor season for the Seminoles. The men's team won the ACC Championship, and we'll look back at that thrilling time in Raleigh, North Carolina. The women's team competed and went right down to the wire for an ACC title. We'll talk about that with the ACC Men's and Women's Track Coach of the Year, Bob Brayman. Plus, we'll introduce you to a young lady who is truly one of the elite runners in the country. She goes the distance in her sport and in the classroom. And we'll also teach you about the technique of pole vaulting through the eyes of one of the Seminoles' star pole vaulters. All that and much more is straight ahead, so stay with us here on First Look, Florida State Track and Field. Welcome back to First Look Florida State Track and Field. Tom Block, joined by FSU head track and field coach Bob Brayman, who, by the way, is the ACC Men's and Women's Track Coach of the Year. Congratulations to you and your staff and your team for what you've been able to do. It's obviously been a great start to the outdoor season. Yeah, it was fantastic, and just so honored to have gotten the win, and certainly our coaching staff to get that award. Let's start on the men's side. You did get an ACC Outdoor Championship, 10th time in 12 years. I mean, you guys are like a machine. You just keep going. But this one, I'm going to ask you, was this maybe more gratifying than any of the previous ones because of the fact that you left probably 40 or 50 points at home because 6 All-Americans weren't with you? Yeah, it's been a trying year where we've had, some injuries and an eligibility issue, and, just trying to get everything together. And it's not unusual, but it's tough when it's your top kids, and we just have to overcome that. And our kids never stop believing that we can win. I don't know that they realized how nearly perfect it had to be for that to happen, but we certainly didn't let them think any other way. And it was really gratifying and just a huge come together, men and women, every day. We're going to do this, we're going to do this. Great leaders, great enthusiasm. And somehow pulled it out, and almost pulled it out on the women's side. We'll talk about the women's side in just a minute. On the men's side, I think you had 7 event champions, 15 all-ACC performances, including the performer of the year in Dentarius Locke. So talk about what he was able to do with a couple of firsts and a second in the 200. Yeah, just fantastic. And Dentarius Locke's from my high school, so we bonded that way, Tampa Chamberlain, and so we always we like to brag on the Chiefs, but. He's been a leader. He's the smallest guy, but he's a big leader because he gets out there and gets it done. Great attitude. He's so happy to be here. He transferred from Tennessee and had to sit out a year, which is a little unusual in our sport. So that's a happy guy every day at practice and leads us well. And top 5, top 3 performance in 100 in the whole country. I think he's 5th on our all-time list or so right now, which is pretty cool. Yeah, he ended up being the high point scorer, so MVP of the meet, and was a great leader and almost pulled a 1-2 double, and we won the 4x1 as well. Yeah, so a great meet. Congratulations there. Who else on the men's side, because there's so many names, I'll put you on the spot where you're really pleased with the way they... Yeah, we had so many good ones, but James Harris, transfer from Mississippi State, came in and at the time the #1 time in the world, or #2 in the world, #1 in the NCAA for 400 meters, and he runs a 4x1, goes over to high jump and gets a few bars in and has to run over and do the 400 open, wins that in an upset win. It was just fantastic with his leadership, and graduate student Jeff Pelage comes in the first year of the program. First year basically throwing the discus, and he, ACC champion, and those guys are, 225 pounds each, and they're big leaders figuratively as well, and they were leading the cheers, and so those guys were big. Freshman Zach Seddon wins the steeplechase, comes back and gets 4th in the 1500. So a lot of those big-time point scorers and leaders. Stefan Britz, who's a brilliant student, won the Golden Knoll last night, 4th best long jump in the country. So, just a bunch of guys stepping up and all enthusiastically, hey, let me be, it's my turn, let me do it. Senior Darren Gibson comes through and gets the ACC runner-up and had a chance to win into the last 5 meters. So really proud of all those guys. Yeah, great effort for sure. Now on the women's side, let's start at the end if we can, or the second to last event, which is when Florida State came back, ties Clemson, but you go 1, 2, 3 in the 5,000, and maybe more significantly than that, ultimately you end up falling short by 5 points. But you made up about 105 points on Clemson from a year ago, so I know you're pleased with that.
Yeah, a year ago it was just like, what do you do for motivation when Clemson was at one point #1 ranked in the country, beat us by 110 points, and that wasn't a bad team. So they came through, Coach Harvey going 1, 2, 3 in the 5,000, which is unheard of, and they were 16 flat for 5K or better. So we tied it up, had a chance in the 4x4, really looking forward to next year, led by a bunch of good young athletes to see if we might not be able to win the ACC championship and then compete for a top spot at the Nationals as well.
Certainly a great finish on the men's side. They are the champions. On the women's side, they finished second. Let's take a look back at what was a terrific weekend for the Florida State track programs in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Underdog is not a term the men's track and field team is familiar with heading into the ACC Outdoor Championship meet, but that was the case in 2013.
As the underdogs, it kind of makes it a more interesting and exciting meet for us. We just want to prove that we belong at the top of the pedestal in the ACC.
We felt insulted being #2 going in. I believe it brought really the fight out of everybody, knowing that we were not expected to win.
As for the women, Clemson had won 3 straight ACC outdoor titles and were favored to win big once again this year.
The team goals, so the goal was to win.
I think our mentality going in was we have a shot. I think it was to go in and do the best you can as an individual and hopefully pull together as a team.
The Seminole men got things going immediately as Jeff Pelage won the first event of the meet, the discus.
Like Coach says, it wasn't guesswork. We just needed to go out there and be confident. That is an accomplishment for me, just to win the ACC championship as a discus throw.
The women throwers put on a show as well, with freshman Kellyanne Knibb winning the discus and junior Chelsea Whalen earning 3rd in the javelin. In fact, the women throwers were dominant, scoring 36 points and earning 2 individual titles.
Winning my first ACC meet as a freshman, it felt good. I was happy with it.
We went in there with that mindset. We were like, we're going to be the greatest group of throwers, and that's what happened. It was amazing.
The Garnet and Gold kept the ball rolling on Friday. While there weren't many points to be had, the men positioned themselves for a fantastic finish with wins in the long jump and steeplechase.
I remember, leaving the hotel, going to get something to eat with, James and other guys, and we were like, man, it's going to be close. We knew, going into Saturday that we have a really good chance.
The final day saw plenty of memorable performances from the men, led by James Harris's unique double, scoring points in the high jump and setting an ACC record in the 400 meter.
Oh my, like when I came across the line, I was trying to save a little bit for the high jump, and I didn't run across the line, and they announced it 45, 25, and I was like, what?
ACC Outdoor Track MVP Dentarius Locke had an exhausting day, winning the 100 meter, the 4x100 meter relay, and placing second in the 200, but competing for the team made it all worth it.
It gives you goosebumps just thinking these points are not just for me, that we might win.
The Seminole women had a memorable Saturday as well, pulling even with Clemson after a 1-2-3 finish in the 5,000 meter. The day was filled with athletes willing themselves to the finish line, and sometimes more than one event, again using teammates to help them through each grueling step.
At the end of the meet, everybody was starting to do the war chant in the stands, and it was really exciting. To be on the track and know your whole team's behind you, supporting you, it's a very exciting moment.
So it's really a different spirit, and we push ourselves to do the best for not just for us, but for everybody.
Everyone just comes together. The sprinters, the distance runners, the throwers, the jumpers. We all form as one. So we don't even separate ourselves as men's and women. We call ourselves one big family.
Despite Clemson capturing the title, the women closed the gap on the Tigers and are excited for next season's meet already.
Yes, I'm even hungrier for it now than I was this year.
We're only getting stronger as a team, so it's almost as if it's right there for us to grab.
We've already decided that Clemson is never going to win that title.
However, the men did capture that coveted trophy, a sweet victory because it was a total team effort, which will never be forgotten by the Seminoles.
There's no greater feeling than holding up that team trophy at the end of the competition with your teammates and, doing the war chant in the middle of the field.
Just hoisting that thing up is just an amazing feeling, and for us to come in as the underdogs and just be with the group of guys and just be able to feel that atmosphere. For something that we worked so hard for and coming in as underdogs, it just made it much sweeter.
At the end of the meet, our coach is passing out ACC championship shirts and everybody's getting one, and we're all dancing and being happy and getting hosted trophy, which is what every team wanted to do there. And for us to finish #1 of all schools, that was crazy.
The old sibling rivalry has taken a modern turn at Florida State. 2 South African jumpers have come to America to compete for the Seminoles. Older brother Stefan and his younger sister Marika together say outcomes between the two don't matter.
We can get pretty competitive, but we never compare.
There's some healthy rivalry, but yeah, we never try to beat each other. But we try and motivate each other.
But at Park, it's a little different.
So what's it like to beat her? Everything. For that 5 minutes, I'll do a victory run around the track.
Oh man, that would mean the world. That would mean everything.
Would that be your national championship, you think, right there?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Although they may have conflicting thoughts on the rivalry, there's no gray area about their relationship. Stefan made the transition 2 years ago and is looking to finish his sophomore year. This experience is brand new for Marika, who just began her college career. They may do their own thing, but you can always spot them together on the track.
On the track, it's pretty close. Like, we'll jog around the track, talk about something, talk about the meet. I think we're as close as you can get.
So close that these siblings look and act as if they're best friends. They even agree on who is the best when it comes to athletics, school, and looks.
On track level, I'll have to agree.
Okay, but he also said that he's the better looking and he's smarter.
The better looking part, we might have to disagree with that, but he's the Einstein between the two of us.
So you're just okay with settling for one of the 3?
I absolutely am.
So I'm smarter because I'm studying more, because I know I can't pitch up with her looks and I can't change my look. So I'll never be better looking, but I can be smarter.
Not only is the relationship supportive being so far away from home, but it pushes each other to achieve their very best.
Constantly in practice, we'll set a mark, or I'll jump from 3 steps, she'll jump from 6. It's just how practice is. The guys jump from 3, the girls jump from 6. Like, I'll set a mark there and say, yeah, you better beat it, like, come on. And the other guys will fall in, so it makes it great.
It was a lot of fun and it was a lot of good competition. I think back home, we didn't always grow up having so much competition that you would have growing up here. So that was kind of the way we motivate ourselves to be better and achieve better things.
But when it's all said and done, there's nothing better than having each other. Not only in a foreign country, but right across the sandpit.
It's perfect. Like, you can't ask for anything more. Like, friends are everything, but family, it stands out.
It's fantastic. I think just that shoulder to lean on, one person you can call and stuff, and I think he means the world to me, and I don't know what I would do without him here.
This has been a journey. I mean, this has not been a perfect road nor an easy road, which I think is a great story for all the girls that have seen her at any time in their career, to know that, you don't have to come in here a superstar, and you can have bumps in the road and still be one of the greatest.
Amanda Winslow's journey now enters her final lap, and she certainly started her senior year off with a bang, earning All-American honors at the NCAA Indoor Championships.
Winslow, the ACC champion this year at 3,000 meters.
I definitely lifted my confidence. It's my highest finish yet so far in the NCAA, and it just really made me believe that I've got a shot at winning a national title. That's always been a goal of mine in the back of my head, but it's something I've had to slowly work towards. So this was that moment where I really felt it and saw it and went for it.
Winslow went stride for stride with Olympian Emma Coburn, and despite not winning, she certainly proved she could compete with the best.
She went to win that race, she made a big move, and she made Emma Coburn run very hard.
It was so exciting. I was at home on my computer just screaming at the computer, I'm just so happy for her because she just gave it her all out there.
The goal-oriented Winslow now has her sights set on the outdoor season and an individual national championship. But to get to the ultimate goal, she must focus on the smaller ones leading up to it. The Georgia native has already knocked one of those goals out by winning the 5,000 meter at the ACC Outdoor Championships, leading her teammates to a 1-2-3 finish in the event, looking in top form for regionals.
Regionals is all about just getting to nationals, and even when you get there, you still have to have that really strong goal about making the final because it can't be taken lightly.
Whether she crosses the finish line a champion or not, Winslow will not be done with running. When she finally hangs up her shoes, she plans on pursuing a coaching career, which is a career path teammates and coaches certainly cannot argue with.
She comes off as being, quiet, reserved sometimes, but when she's cheering for you on the track, you can hear her voice. She has a true coaching voice.
Her life is of a leader. She's a happy person, she's a balanced person, but at the same time, when it's time to get on that track and that gun goes off, she is completely 100% into her race.
But it will be Amanda Winslow winning Section 2.
The Georgia native plans on using what she has learned at Florida State and from her coach Karen Harvey when it comes time to lead a team.
I think one of the reasons that we're so successful as a team and that she's such a successful coach is that she really puts together a special group of girls, and part of college coaching is the recruiting process. There's something special here that I think comes from her.
But for now, Winslow wants to finish the last lap of her career by crossing the finish line first, ending her journey with the ultimate highlight.
Senior Andrew LaHaye lives for the thrill of pole vaulting. An avid athlete in high school, he excelled in football and track, but pole vaulting was a true challenge.
I'm probably suited for a lot better things in this world than pole vaulting, like my body type and everything like that, but I like it. I think it's fun. It's a challenging event for me, and there's so many things that I can keep learning about it. The rush too that you get, it's hard to duplicate that.
LaHaye has made his mark not only in the ACC, but at the national level as well. He finished 9th at the NCAA championships last season, and a year later, he's showing huge improvements.
He always shows something that's very important as a pole vaulter, that it's determination to get better. He loves the pole vault. He loves the adrenaline rush. He's constantly working to get better. I've never seen any man improve himself on everything he does. He's probably one of the most explosive pole vaulters I ever know, because man, that guy can jump very high and lift a lot of weight.
I'm not the tallest pole vaulter in the world, so you have to be a little bit more fearless than others, and you have to be a little faster, you have to be a little stronger. You have to be just a little bit better on the other, the things that you can control.
Pole vaulters need to be both fast and strong to clear the crossbar. In order to make a successful jump, they need to understand the physics of the vault.
So pole vaulting 101 is you run as fast as you can and you take off into the box, and the pole is at this angle. And your goal is to get the pole to a vertical angle. And when that happens, that's when you go high. When I step on the runway, I focus only on the balance in my run and having good rhythm. I just look down the end of my pole and just focus on the runway, and then I kind of bend it just a little bit, and I lift it up, and you rock back and forth. It's all about finding the rhythm in your run.
And when he's not clearing the bar, This Seminole is entertaining the team.
He's one of those athletes that really likes to have fun. It's contagious.
Tons of fun, adventurous guy, loves to do stuff, and he's never afraid to say what's on his mind, that's for sure. And it's usually always a good laugh.
LaHaye brings his favorite music to every practice. They've tried everything from dubstep to country to rap.
I have this portable Bose system with great sound, and I started bringing it out to practice about 2 months ago and testing out the music and what brings good energy out to the practice. But now we're on oldies like Motown music, and I think we hit it with that. It makes you feel good, fun stuff to dance to.
Now the Orlando native is dancing toward bigger goals. While he gears up for his last few meets, he hopes to take his career to the top.
I don't really do it for the crowds and the cheer and everything, that's a plus, but I do it, to challenge myself. Man, I've learned a lot from it, not just about pole vaulting, but how to deal with things in life. I wouldn't put my goal to be a specific height, but whatever it takes to be up there, to be competitive with the top guys, because I really just want to be there.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of First Look Florida State Track and Field. I hope you've enjoyed our inside look at a program that is truly one of the perennially great programs on the men's and women's side in all of college athletics. Don't forget to keep in touch and follow the Florida State track programs. You can do so anytime on Seminoles.com, including following them in the upcoming NCAA championships. That'll do it from here at Florida State. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time right here.